Made a new build for my Void Warlock. Uh, Probably one of the more fun builds I've ever made. I still love Fellwinter's Helm, but I'm gonna keep using this for a while because these new exotics are amazing and I love them. I literally, like a week before the season came out, I was thinking I wish they would give us an exotic that buffs Void Souls, and then they did. So, if you don't know how they work, Briarbinds are the new exotic gauntlets for Warlocks. Void Souls last longer. Every time they get a kill, they increase in how much damage they do. And you can run up to them and hold X to retrieve them, which you can then put them back out. So you can keep one Void Soul up forever. You can juggle multiple Void Souls. And actually, if you retrieve a Void Soul and then use your Rift to spawn another, you'll have two stored, and both of them will go out when you shoot an enemy. So for subclass, I just went full ability spam. Vortex nades with Chaos Accelerant, and of course Child of the Old Gods. And then we have Devour from Echo of Starvation. So, Echo of Expulsion, mainly because every single time the Void Soul gets a kill, it causes an explosion that does about 10 to 15,000 damage. So it just lets it get even more kills on its own. Echo of Starvation's because we don't have the aspect giving us Devour. And then the way you get your orbs is from Echo of Harvest. Every single enemy that the Void Soul hits gets weakened. You kill a single one of them, you get a Void Breach and an Orb of Power, which then you get Devour when you pick it up. And then just Void buffs applied to you, have increased duration. You could run Echo of Instability if you wanted to, because you're going to be spamming a lot of grenades, because Child of the Old Gods, if you put it on a healing rift, every time it leeches an enemy, it gives you a bit of grenade and melee regen. So you're going to have a lot of abilities to spare. I'm using a Repulsor Brace title because I love this thing. When I have Devour active, thanks to Pugilist and Classy Contender, one kill with this weapon gives me a bit of all three of my abilities back, plus a Void Overshield. You could use Collective Obligation, you could use... Honestly, it doesn't really matter, I just like this weapon. Hard Shadow is a really good DPS weapon. I've pulled it back out because I forgot how good it was, and then I'm running this thing just because it's good for deleting stuff that gets in your face. Mods... Gonna be throwing a lot of grenades and casting a lot of rifts, so I'll put one of each of these on. You can try to hit 100 recovery instead of 100 discipline if you want to, but every single time you kill an enemy that the Void Soul is leeching, it gives you 25% of your rift back. So if you just stay on top of the enemies that he's leeching, you will not have an issue with rift regen. Bolstering detonation to get your rift back from grenade hits, and firepower to spawn orbs from your grenades. I'm using this for my sword, you don't have to do that. Void Surge, or whatever surge you want, and then some more ability regen from orbs you pick up. And then Reaper, since you are casting so many rifts, you will get a lot of use out of Reaper. And then distribution, so I get more ability regen every time I cast my rift. So, let's show this now. I'll just start with, I'll just show the increasing damage. So, starts at, let's see, 1,169. Once he gets a kill. Right, then you pick him back up, and yes, he does store his increased damage. See, now he's doing... Well, it must be because of his phalanxes. Let's see. Now he's doing 2,000 damage. I mean, it's also just you always have a 15% weaken in your back pocket. Right, now I'm going to actually start using my abilities so you can see how fast they come back. If you're worried about staying alive, you can swap the Chaos Accelerant aspect out for a or Feed the Void, but I get plenty of Devour just from the Echo of Starvation. I haven't really had any issues with it, and you can see he kills stuff on his own pretty well. I'm just gonna send him back there and you can see how much damage he does. Really good ag control because of the stagger, and he slows stuff down. Not to mention you can kill any of the enemies he's hitting to get a free Void over shield at any point if you're using a repulsor brace weapon. You see, all those explosions from Echo of Expulsion make it way better at ag clearing stuff. Now I'll show you why I like this shotgun. That was without Cascade Point. The new hand cannon. I hate these turrets. I always end up getting killed by them. The new hand cannon from Crota's Inn can get repulsor brace, so it would probably be a good option. It's a good hand cannon. I think it can get repulsor brace and what's it called? The new perk Sword Logic. So that would be a good combo. I wouldn't recommend destabilizing rounds for one reason. Sometimes when you get volatile on something, the volatile explosion will kill something before you kill it with the weapon, and then you won't get your Void over shield. And I don't like that. That's why I took Echo of Instability off of this build, is because I hated the volatile stealing kills from my gun, and then I wasn't getting any Void over shields. Like that. See, he was volatile, but it exploded, and then I didn't get a Void over shield, even though it looked like I killed him with the gun. This feels way different from any other Void build I've used, just because you get so much area control for so little effort. Oh, I forgot to mention, Void Soul's damage does tick individually. So if you have multiple Void Souls on one enemy, they will all do damage on, like, individually. So I was told. Now that I'm looking at it, it may not actually be true. It may prioritize the highest damage Void Soul. My only issue with this exotic is that you have to go to the Void Soul to pick it up. But I feel like that's for balancing sake. Honestly, I feel like if you could retrieve this thing at range, this would be the new Grandmaster meta. Imagine just being able to send this thing out to do a 15% weaken at any point, and then just calling it back from safety whenever you wanted to. I feel like that would be a bit unfair. I feel like I've given enough of an example. I mean, like I said, I don't have any issue with this setup, but if you still find yourself dying with how it is already, you could put on Feed the Void.
Wonder if they'd let you try some of those fruits instead.
I think it would still be good in Nightfalls, just I feel like the Fellwinter's build that's already on the channel would probably be better for Nightfalls just because of how safe it is with all the invisibility you can create. You're pretty much never even visible with that build. But this one is very fun. I've been enjoying it a lot.